Here we are, folks. Where are we, Aidan?
Scotland, Edinburgh.
Yes.
Well,
but
just outside Edinburgh,
where exactly?
at the motorhome spot where we're picking up the motorhome.
Yes. We're picking up the motorhome, folks. We've been on a train this morning.
Taxi.
We've been in a taxi.
A bus before that.
Oh, we've been on a bus, a train, and a taxi to get here today to pick up the beast, which is here. They just refilled it with water for us to make sure it was full to the brim, didn't they, Aidan?
Yep.
And you know, as you guys know, we're pretty good with this fanning stuff, but it'll be a bit of an overwhelm for people that aren't used to it. So it's definitely a bit different for us. So off we go. It's a little bit squeezier than what we have at home. Will we test each other's patience, people? Whoa, this is what we have to wait and see. Anyway, there's a luggage compartment at the back. So when we get to where we're going, we'll give you a bit of a tour. But this is the tour of the inside before we start filling it with all of our stuffs. So we've opted to have the bed at the back here where we can have it made up the full time, so we're not mucking around with that at the end of the day. Looks like we've got little sink, gas cooker. There is an oven here. Great cupboard space. So what we're going to do is to get to where we're going, and then there's a little storage cupboard down here for clothes and things, and we'll just work out what we need. We've actually got 12 days, haven't we?
Yep.
12 days in
11,
this.
I think.
Oh, aren't you looking forward to it? Little dinette. Both the chairs here spin around. So this is the tiny little bathroom. If you just come this way, it's going to be a bit squeezy. Toilet. Haven't actually looked in here. Little cupboard, so that's great. We can at least have some stuff unpacked. But to use the shower, so here's your sink, obviously. To use the shower, you push this button, and apparently there's a shower behind here. There you go. Check that out, Adi. It's even got the little hose thing that you like. So
Yeah, it could be bigger than those.
this is going to actually be fun because we've been living out of bags, and you know, I think it'll be nice just to set up for a bit. Anyhow, I don't think they've given us any sheets. I'm just going to have a look. So we need to... Number one important thing, people, when you're coming to do something like this, some of us like to rush. Some of us not so much. I'm like, no, stop. We need to check everything. We need to make sure that they've given us what we've paid for, because we've paid for all the extras. So we've paid for the pillows, the quilts, the camping table, the camping chair. We've paid for the top excess reduced cover. All these things that you need to check before you even think about driving out the driveway. And the other thing that we've just done is you go around the motorhome with them, looking at all the current scrapes, dings, marks, anything that's bigger than 2 centimeters they need to know about. And you need to have eyes like a hawk, because there's a chip in the windscreen that they didn't have. So Aidan noticed that. So you spend your time doing that outside and inside. They've marked it all on their sheet, but I have also gone around and filmed a video with a date. Obviously then it's date stamped of when we picked it up. So just take your time, chill out before you get on the road. Okay, just so you can, if you're thinking about hiring a motorhome, I think I already showed you, that's the bed. We purchased, well, paid extra to have the linen. I wouldn't say it's the thickest quilt you ever felt, so I've bought some thermals, but we do also have gas heating, don't we? Very important in Scotland. What is the temperature today, do you reckon?
12.
Yeah, it's not real warm.
But it's not cold either. It's
No.
not as cold as 12 in Australia.
Yes, it's not as bad as what it could have been. And how do you feel about driving this beast?
Well, it's not any bigger than the Ram. A little bit taller, but...
Yeah, so how tall is it? 3
3
meters. So just so you know, it's a good idea, and we should all be doing this at home, really. Actually, we should do that at home, just as a reminder. It's got up here how tall, long, wide, and how much the camper weighs, so that's really good when we're coming up to a bridge. But I just wanted to show you, underneath the bed you've got this little storage cupboard, and obviously we need to get to somewhere today and sort out our clothes and what we're doing, but just thought it was worth noting you've got a couple of shelves here, and then these two cases, if you can see them in there, they are your standard carry-on luggage size case, so that'll give you an indication of how much room you've got. And I think we'll probably sort out our clothes, won't we, or something? Yeah. Get a couple of days worth in there and just leave them in the cases might be the go, but we'll sort it out as we go. It's actually pretty standard, isn't it? Like similar to what we have. So as you can see, we've hired from Just Go. We tried to get a bit of a discount for vlogging, but they didn't seem to want to know about it. What a surprise, eh? Who wants to know about a couple of Aussies doing this? This is what we would call the tunnel boot at home. So we've got two quite big cases in there. But this is what you need to check, isn't it, really, when you're hiring the motorhomes, whether it's here or in Australia. You do tend to have to pay extra if you want the add-ons. So camping table, camping chairs, we've got the toilet chemicals. We didn't want to be running around trying to find that stuff here. It just gets too hard, so you don't want to waste your time doing that if they can provide it at a reasonable cost. I just said to Aidan, oh, hang on a minute, before we go, they didn't give us the window screens, but this is how far they've come with the motorhomes now. They actually have the screens in the front here that you can just pull across, and even in the side windows. So, geez, I wouldn't mind some of those in the normal car, to be honest. Pretty good when you'll be travelling on those hot sunny days. We're off to find some food now. Stock up on the food and then we can start exploring. We're hooting down the M9 now. We've navigated some tiny streets to do a bit of grocery shopping just to get us through to tonight. And we're heading to the Kelpies statues and hopefully can camp there overnight. Just want to spot where we can work everything out in the motorhome, make sure the water's working, the loo's working, the shower's working, all those things. It's a bit daunting. Aidan's been an absolute champion. Mr. Patience extraordinaire he is. How you going over there, Aidy?
Too bad.
Bit stressy because we bloody map thing's not working. This useless, I tell you. We'll be taking that up with them.
You having fun?
Oh, so much fun, people. This is the glamour of it all. I've basically took out my kneecap on the door down there, so I've learnt that you have to open up the door fully. I'm not looking forward to when I take my jeans off. That's going to be bad. And we've now got to our first destination, and this is the glamour of it all. Getting the bed ready, sorting out everything that we've got, doing the hard yards before we get on the road proper. But if you have a look out the window, if you can see through the rain, because don't forget we are in Scotland and it's raining at the moment, we are at the Kelpies statues, and to be honest I didn't quite realise how big they are. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the maidens at the front there.
In the distance.
But really I'm just hanging to get on the gas so I can get a cup of tea going. Cooking with gas. Here we are, getting all the goods out the cases to get into the motorhome, because when you've actually got about, I think we've got the 12 days, it just makes sense to have as much as we need in the motorhome, even though it's not going to be fun, is it? Packing it all back into the cases. Anyway, we're on it. Not much of a, well, you wouldn't call it a caravan park, would you?
The parking lot.
Yes. And it's going to cost us £15, so about 30 Aussie dollars, no power or anything. And we have had to also pay the $6 daily parking fee in order to go and visit the Kelpie sculptures across there. Welcome everyone to our first destination in Scotland, in Body Scotland. I can't even do a Scottish accent, but we are at the magnificent Kelpies. Basically it's an art installation, but absolutely stunning. So this is the models that they used before they started doing the big ones, like to do the scale. So these are like 1/10 of the real ones over there, Aidan. You can show everyone. And they're what, 30-metre high, those ones. So yeah, exciting. Let's go and check it out.
Oh,
how's the summer weather going for you, Dar?
It's what I warned you about.
Yeah, but I can't see anyone's buying ice cream.
No, but they might be buying burger
cold
and chips.
drinks, or you might be buying burger and chips. Not really what you're hankering for. I don't know. What's the temperature?
Might be 12.
About 12 degrees, and it's summer. Summer. But that's okay. Check out these magnificent sculptures. Actually, this one on the left is so realistic. The face. It's definitely a bit eerie looking at them, isn't it? Oh God, how's that motorhome looking now? I think it's going to be nice and cozy. I'm actually looking forward to getting back into it because I am frozen stiff. Look at this. Danger, you're on thin ice. Thin ice around these parts.
Yeah, well, it's summer at the moment, that's why it's thin. Imagine the middle of winter.
Yeah. What do they call it on the roads? The black ice, don't they? In the spirit of keeping things real, because you don't ever see it in the tourist brochures, one side of the Kelpies is a whole lot of power lines, and the other side
is the M9 motorway.
You want to show up there? Is the M9 motorway. So when you camp here, you are camped next to the motorway. Doesn't bother us, but some people don't like it. I couldn't care less, really. But there's also this lovely walk that you can do along the canal. So we're going to do a little bit of walk since we're wet anyway. We're walking around, just getting dripping wet, but this is a sculpture of a unicorn, and it says it's the spirit of Scotland. This sculpture of a unicorn is Scotland's national animal. Is a unicorn. Did you know that?
Nope.
I didn't know that. Got a mama and a papa here. Little cuties. And as you can see, the Kelpie statues are over on the other side of the freeway there. Okay, we'll leave these guys to their little family. They're so funny, aren't they?